On this Saturday morning, we welcome you to Legends Field here at Pendleton Heights High School for an event that we look forward to every year. Sometimes Mother Nature doesn't feel the same way. A bit chilly this morning, but nothing but sunshine in the forecast, which means we've got a full day of softball. In fact, there will be 9 games played here on 2 different fields over the course of the day. We will televise 3 of them. This is game number 1 featuring the Arabians of Pendleton Heights. They come in at 2-1 in the season as they take on the Panthers of Jennings County at 4-1. It is game 1 of the Horseshoe Classic here on 9 Star and the IHSAA Sports Network. Alongside Jim Leisure, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us, Jim. You had a chance to see the Arabians in action last on Tuesday when they beat Shenandoah 4-1. What are your early impressions of a defending sectional championship team?
Well, Coach Rob Davis has never been one. He's got a program. He doesn't have a softball team. He has a program where they just simply reload every year. They lost 5 really good seniors last year, and Haley Brunham, Caroline DeRolf, Kylie Riley, Chloe Gregory, and Bryn Libler, and those were 5 really good players. And so you say, man, how do you replace those? Well, they do. They've got a bunch of seniors on this squad as well, kids that are just itching to play. I think right now, not nearly as good as that team was last year, but that's hard to do. But it certainly has the potential to get there.
Eliza Finley, you see her record in the circle. 2 pitchers have been used so far. Messer got the nod on Tuesday. Again, you're going to play 3 today. You've got to, play kind of both pitchers. So Finley a chance to get to work. And Mackenzie Mattern will be leading things off. She is the opposing pitcher for Jennings County. Panthers come in at 4-1 on the campaign. First pitch in for a strike, and we're underway. Their lone loss came to Beech Grove, and if you don't know about Beech Grove, there is a ridiculous amount of pitching talent in central Indiana these days. Keegan Rothrock going to Florida. There's a young lady from Tri-West going to go to Oklahoma. Well, Malone Moore is kind of next of that group that is the pitcher at Beech Grove. So the Hornets are pretty good. Last time Jennings County played was on Thursday when they got a victory against Bloomington North.
Greg, one of the things that teams like to do, like Jennings County, Coach Bobby Willis likes to come up and challenge his kids, and that's one way to do it. You could stay down there, southern Indiana, or you could come up to central Indiana and face some of that pitching, which you're eventually going to have to face if you want to go far in the tournament.
This one tails out of the zone, 1-2 the count. Amongst the other teams playing in this event, literally Center Grove and Decatur Central are playing on the field just to our right. Lake Central will be the opponent that Pendleton Heights will play at 2 o'clock. We'll televise that game for you as well. This is a rugged field that gets together. This is really kind of a who's who of 4A softball every year. And again, we are thankful last year's event never started because of cold conditions. We got a couple of games in and it rained everything out 2 years ago. So happy to play this to its completion for the first time in 4 years. Mattern turns on that one, but sends it foul.
Mattern got a really good at-bat going here. But, yeah, I'm sure you mentioned the weather or the cool temperature. It's about 46 degrees. It's going to warm up quickly to a high, I think, in the mid-60s. So I'm sure that Coach Davis and the athletic administration staff at Pendleton would take this every year if they could.
What's unique about the weather right now is the wind is coming in from the east. It is blowing in from right field, which you usually don't have. It's kind of up in the 10 to 15 mile an hour range. So, again, a bit chilly this morning, but as is the case for the next week, rain is not in the forecast, which is rare to say around these parts this time of year.
No doubt about it. You got to get these games in while you can. And the next 7 or 8 days looks like a lot of good softball and baseball weather in central Indiana.
The 2-2 by Finley. Ground ball, foul ball. Mattern will play at Marion. Of course, we at ISC very familiar with Scott Fleming's program at Marion. They are 27-1 atop the Crossroads League.
And Mattern, again, just being an absolute pest. This is the 8th pitch of this at bat. She's been fouling off pitchers' pitches, just looking for a mistake. She wants to see something out over the plate. And obviously, if you're Eliza Finley, you don't want to put one there. But that's what Mattern is, and that's a good hitter. Go ahead and waste those pitchers' pitches and wait on something out over where you can extend those arms.
Off-speed wasted it, and the count goes full. Well, you made this comment just kind of watching Jennings County warm up. They passed the airport test.
Yeah.
They have some impressive-looking athletes on this team. The other thing you notice, too, is they're going to play some freshmen in today's game, and get another one spoiled foul, and think now the question that Finley is kind of running through her mind is, okay, what's my out pitch here?
Yeah.
How do I get out of this?
Yeah, you know what? At this point, again, and we talked before, our old friend Razor Shine, this is where Razor would say, just hit him. Just hit him in the leg. Just get him on the – just move on.
Strike 3 called absolutely inside of the hands. And Mattern will file that away. They say, okay, I know where that inside corner is located for them in the circle, bottom half of the inning. Great battle that was won by Finley. And there's one away.
Yeah, I mean, she'll file that away not only, like you said, when she's in the circle, but also to her teammates and let them know, every good umpire is going to, give you something. He's either going to give you the high pitch or the low pitch, the inside, outside. So now she's talking, saying, hey, he's giving us the inside corner, so be ready to swing it.
Abby McDonald, the second baseman, batting $143 on the season with 2 runs batted in. Even though you saw in the graphic she is a junior, she has, at this point, decided to stay home and play college softball at a very new option. That misses 2-0 the count. She's going to play at IUPUC. Let me translate that. Indiana University, Purdue University at Columbus. They are fielding athletic teams for the first time. This is their maiden season in softball. In fact, they are playing games at Jennings County High School this year. And McDonald wears one. So she'll take the free pass down to first base. 1 on and 1 out. And Jillian Brower now will come to the plate.
Yeah, I saw the IUPUC the other day. I can't remember. Are they playing baseball as well?
They're playing baseball.
Yeah.
So this is their first year in the NAIA. They have gained membership into the River States Conference, and they will be eligible for postseason competition next year.
So I saw that, and I kind of had to do like you said, I had to slow the whole thing down. I got the IUPU part. But then I was like, Columbus.
Well, for many years, people would say IUPUI at sea. I'm like, no, there's nothing to do with Indianapolis.
Correct.
It's IUPUC is how you say it.
Yep.
Of course, IUPUI is changing their name at the end of next year as well.
I did not know that.
To IU Indianapolis.
Okay. Oh, yeah, they are dropping I did read where they were dropping the PU.
I'm going to have to fight 25 years of habits of saying it the other way on broadcast.
Well, that and the University of Indianapolis. I mean, I can remember when Indiana Central basically hopped on that moniker quickly, and the mayor at the time was the Honorable Bill Hudnett, and he was not happy about that. He wanted IUPUI to change their name to the City of Indianapolis from a marketing and a name recognition standpoint.
As a University of Indianapolis graduate, I'm sorry, Mr. Hudnett. Tough.
Oh, no. Listen, they weren't impressed with his opinion either.
0-2 the count. This one is sprayed foul. We'll do it again. Now, Brower on the season has been the best per average hitter for Jennings County, batting .556. She is the starting third baseman. Has 4 runs batted in. Ball tends to travel well here at Legends Field. And the wind is kind of coming across the field. In from right field. Foul ball, so we'll do it again. That one rattled the cage of the catcher in Sidney Clark.
Well, if you're going to go out of here right now with the wind blowing the way it is, I mean, and the catcher for Pendleton, Sidney Clark, set up outside, that's a pitch that if Brower can kind of reach out and extend the arms and just take it down the left field line, he'll probably go.
Does send this one towards left field. Left fielder was playing in, able to make the play. Mattern will head back to first base, and there's 2 down.
I'm going to tell you what, Gloria Richardson out there in left field against Shenandoah made 4 absolute fantastic catches, 1 against the wall. You're going to see the replay here again. Not a real good swing on it there. That's what she was trying to do, was go that way. That was a can of corn for Gloria Richardson compared to the 4 plays she made against Shenandoah.
Here's Alexis Carson, freshman. Batting .267, does have a home run and 3 runs batted in. Carson, Byford, who's up next, and Elston batting 8th. All have homered in the first 5 games of the season for Jennings County, at least at some point in time in those 5 games. Misses low and inside.
If you look down at Carson again, we don't have, heights here, on the rosters. It's, this isn't, football or basketball where you normally have heights. But just a very tall, athletic young lady.
Turns on this one. One question is the park going to hold it? And Richardson tried to get to it, but
I really fully expected her to make that catch. She had such a day, Greg. I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch the game, but or go back and watch it, on ISC or YouTube. But Mike, it was the best defensive game I've seen a left fielder have in quite a while.
I was watching the game long enough for you to say that Legends Field was named after me.
I swear I thought it was. I thought it was Greg Rakestraw Legends Field.
I'll throw it down and not in time.
But, you know, I don't let facts get in the way a lot of my stories.
Of a good story.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Yep. Says a man who was a police officer for 30 years.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm not under oath. I mean, I understand perjury. I get it.
That hits the top of the zone, and count runs full at 3-2. So McDonald will have a chance to get a bit of a head start down the first base line.
So, you know, if he's going to give the high pitch, he's already shown that he's going to give the inside corner. Most umpires give the outside corner.
Inside corner again. Strike 3 called, and of the strikeout victims for Jennings County, both have been by the way of the backwards K. So McDonald hit by a pitch, does not come back to harm at Pendleton Heights, and now we'll get ready for the bottom half of the first inning. And with that, let's give you the batting lineup for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. Kaya Hubble will lead things off in center field. Avery Miller will bat second. She is the third baseman. Sydney Clark is the catcher batting third. Caitlin Goodwin, the first baseman, bats fourth. Bo Shelton, the shortstop, will bat fifth. Richardson, who we talked about in left field, will bat sixth. Elena Smith, the DP, will bat seventh. Kylie Fisher's at second base, and she'll bat eighth. And Lily Koffel is the right fielder, and she will bat ninth. Mackenzie Mattern will be the pitcher for Jennings County in today's game. I'll tell you about her pitching prowess coming up here in just a matter of moments. On the season, Mattern has pitched in 4 of the first 5 games for Jennings County. You see Rob Davis on your screen. Mattern's ERA 3.13. She does have 1 win on the campaign. Mattern has thrown 22 1/3 innings. She has allowed 10 earned runs. She has walked 4, and she has struck out 18. And opposing batters are batting .263 on Mattern this season. The result of note for Jennings County, in terms of, trying to give you a comparison, let's tell you they did against a Hoosier Heritage Conference foe that Pendleton Heights can recognize. That would be Shelbyville. Jennings County beat the Golden Bears 4-3 when they played earlier this year.
And Shelbyville, like many of the IHSAA softball teams, pretty good. Now, I don't know what they've got coming back this year, but last year they had a fantastic squad.
Of course, Pendleton Heights, new pal at the 3A level, Yorktown. Mount Vernon has started to kind of join that group. The old line about the rising tide lifts all ships. You would say that about baseball and softball in this conference.
Yeah, it's to put it, I guess, even more simplified, get better, get beat. I mean, these teams, like a lot of those teams that you mentioned, perennially are very, very good, and it's like we have to up our game. Whatever they're doing in the off season, whatever they're doing in the weight room, whatever they're doing in terms of getting girls involved in travel ball, we need to do that or expect to get beat.
Here's Kaya Hubble. She is one of 2 Division I commits on this Pendleton Heights squad. She is going to head to Peoria and play at Bradley. Hubble batting .545. Has driven in 2 runs.
Yeah, very unique split grip. You see some softball players do that.
Which is why she is sending that ball down the left field line. That just did sneak inside the foul line, and now she's going to try to leg it out to third base, and she'll make it. Well, what a spark for Pendleton Heights to start the game. Hubble down the left field line and extra bases on the first swing of the game.
Well, this is a team that bats .390. You see the replay there, like you said, just inside the left field line there. Ball gets down in what amounts to the bullpen, kind of gets away from the left fielder enough. And I'll tell you, give Hubble credit because she was running the bases. Once she saw that ball's away, this is a double. This is going to be a double all day, every day. But when the ball gets away, I'm going.
So with that, for our unofficial scoring purposes, I would give that a double and then an error on the left fielder to get the runner to third base.
That's exactly what I've scored it in my little book. Not that I'm the official score, but.
So Avery Miller is at the plate. 500 average, 4 runs batted in. Corner infielders play in. Ground ball up the middle would score the run for Miller. And there's still, you referenced, 5 talented seniors that exited after last year. This is a pretty big senior class as well, but you're also working in some freshmen on this lineup, and Miller is of that group. This misses.
Both ball clubs have a good mix. I mean, if you're Jennings County, they start 3 freshmen all on the left side. The third baseman, Jillian Brower, the shortstop, Riley Byford, and the left fielder, Emma Clapp, all freshmen. So a little bit of youth over there. So Coach Davis and the squad, you say, let's go over there and see if we can take advantage of that.
Miller chases the high fastball. Couldn't lay off the riser, and there's one away. So Sydney Clark now the catcher will step to the plate for Pendleton Heights. She is batting .429 on the season and does have a run batted in.
And again, we talked earlier, Greg, about building a program. I mean, that's part of the way you do it. You don't ever. I mean, it'd be great if you had 9 seniors. They were all, big, bangers up there that hit home runs and stuff. But ideally, you're probably not going to have that opportunity. So you try to mix a mix of youth, experience, and that way every year you're not replacing the whole squad.
Both first 2 pitches out of the zone. Count now 2-0.
Good pitch to hit for a young lady who bats .429, so she's looking for something that she can drive. 2-0 is obviously a hitter's count. You're looking for something, your favorite pitch.
Pitcher's pitch right there, right at the top of that zone.
And I like what she did. It wasn't her pitch. She didn't want to hit that pitcher's pitch, as you say. So don't swing it. I mean, 2-1, still a good count.
The ball just tailed off as it got to the top of the zone. Turns on this one, but that is well foul. So the count levels now at 2-2. There have been so many foul balls in this first inning. We got to do a little retrieval to have the proper amount of softballs.
And it looks like they are back. The supply has been replenished here. Probably ought to have, I would think, 4 to 6 softballs on hand for a high school game. Maybe.
Trust me, they're not hurting for supplies here.
Yeah, I get it.
Ground ball. Runner has to freeze. Well played by Jennings County. And the right decision by Hubble. Kind of stare the third baseman in the face. Brower quickly fires over to first, and there's 2 down.
Well, we talked about the freshman on that side, and Brower with a really nice play. First of all, you got to pick it, and you see her right there, a really nice job of picking it, and then you got to make a nice throw, which she did. You saw on the replay there.
Caitlin Goodwin now at the plate. We referenced Kai Hubble going to play at the Division I level. Goodwin will as well eventually. She has verbal to play at the University of Dayton. Batting .300 on the season. Goodwin, the first baseman, does have a home run and 4 runs batted in this year.
Of course, Coach Davis is saying, come on, ladies, let's don't waste this scoring opportunity here. We had a runner on third and no outs.
Ball was out of the zone the entire way. Carson was set up heading that direction.
Yeah, right now, Matern kind of shows that she's not really interested at all with first base open and giving Goodwin anything to hit.
3-0. Now Shelton, who is on deck, her average has not been great, but she's homered twice in 3 games. This may be the intentional walk. Yep, never came close to the zone.
So first and third situation here. We'll see whether Coach Davis lets Sheldon just swing away as opposed to putting somebody in motion.
So Shelton plans on playing at the Division III level at Earlham College next year. This misses up and in. 1-0 the count.
Coach Davis with no signals there actually just kind of showed the hitter both palms saying, hey, calm down, get your pitch, don't help, don't fish.
Took a mighty swing at that one. And the count at 1-1.
Yeah, she really did there. When you're going to see the replay here, you're going to see her eyes kind of come up toward the pitcher. Well, the pitcher don't got it.
Sprays that one foul, didn't miss it by much. Got kind of back-to-back good pitches to swing at. And Mater now is 1 pitch away from getting out of the jam.
You got to see it to hit it. Watch the ball all the way down. And, again, you always say watch the ball hit the bat. I don't know that I ever saw the ball actually hit the bat because it happened so fast as they concede the base.
So Goodwin gets the uncontested stolen base. Now a shot to the outfield could score 2. First things first, Sheldon's got to make contact.
Of course, with 2 strikes, we'll be moving on contact.
Got a good rip at that. Other thing you may have noticed in the screen as well, and this is not atypical for softball, but there's a runner on second base. She is going to kind of signal the batter, hey, this is where they're setting up.
Yeah.
So you saw Goodwin kind of throw an arm back on the bag to say, hey, we'll look for that one to be potentially outside. And on the hands this time. And the count remains 2-2.
Good job of making this an at-bat, man. Again, at-bats are so precious. You only get 3 or 4 of them a game, and you got to make every one of them count. Don't ever concede. Get up there and battle.
Strike 3 call. Yep. I mean, it was an offer or not. Shelton was fooled and kind of half-heartedly waved at it, knowing it was strike 3. So, Arabian Strand 2. We are scoreless through 1 here at the Horseshoe Classic between Pendleton Heights and Jennings County. Back in a moment on 9 Star and ISC.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Back in Pendleton, Greg Rakestraw, Jim Leisure with you on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network. And our schedule for the day. This game just starting here in the 10 o'clock hour. A scheduled start time of 2 for Pendleton Heights' second game in pool play. They take on perennial powerhouse Lake Central. Lake Central 3-0-1 in the early stages of this season. And then regardless of who is in the championship game, we will bring that to you at 6. Rob Brown will be in for that one. Jim and I will be back with you for the 2 o'clock contest between the Arabians and Lake Central. 5, 6, and 7 coming up this time through for the Jennings County Panthers. Byford, Mowry, and Hack. You see Bobby Willis in his 8th year as the man in charge of this Jennings County program. Athletic department on a bit of a high right now for Jennings County. Their boys basketball team had a phenomenal year. They reached the semi-state for the first time in 25 years. Playing down the road in Newcastle a few weeks ago. This one misses outside, 1-1 the count. Byford on the season has a home run, batting over 400, and has driven in 3 in the first 5 games of the season for the Panthers.
A little bit of a contrast in team batting average. Pendleton at 390.
Pop this one up. Richardson in left. She's made the spectacular plays on our cameras this week. That was much more of the mundane. There's one down.
But to finish, I thought Jennings County comes in as a team batting average of 271. So
here's Mowry. Mowry, the center fielder, wearing the custom long sleeve gear. First pitch swinging, and Richardson drifting back, no problem. She has been a magnet out in left field. She's got 3 putouts already, and there's 2 away.
You know, and she plays so well, but she also plays so well toward the line. She has a lot of confidence. She knows where she's at. You see the replay here. She's just going to go back to the spot. She knows she has plenty of room. Didn't even reach out for the fence because she knew where she was. Maybe the folks on the golf cart out there may have been talking to her a little bit too. Just saying room, 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 meaning you got room, you got room, you got room.
It's in for a strike. This is Claire Hack, the first baseman. Claire has a run batted in this season, batting $143 in the early stages of it. This wraps up the 3rd week of competition for high school softball. Another one turned to left field. This one will get out of fair territory and go foul. There is plenty of room. Now the bullpen gobbles up some of that, but a good amount of foul territory space here at Legends Field, going down both the right and left field lines.
Yeah, and I've never met Gloria Richardson, but I'm sure she's a competitor, and she's probably going, hit it just a couple more feet, and I'll get it. As an outfielder, you have to take everything personally. How dare you hit the ball anywhere near me? Don't you know who I am? Don't you know what I can do with this glove?
Count it 1-2.
Center fielder Hubble playing her to pull quite a bit.
This one almost perfectly on line where Hubble was playing. So, yes, that's the center fielder just behind the shortstop that comes in and makes the play. So 3 fly ball outs to end the top half of the first and to their top half of the second, rather. And to the bottom of the second we go, still scoreless here at Legends Field. So 2 strikeouts and 4 fly balls. The putouts recorded so far by the Arabians. Richardson, Smith, and Fisher. 6, 7, and 8, the trio of batters due up this time through for Pendleton Heights.
Well, you mentioned 6, 7, and 8, but still some pretty impressive batting averages. You're looking at Alana Smith, she's at 500, and Kylie Fisher's at 400. Now, Lily Koffel at the bottom there is batting 1,000, but I think she's only got 1 at bat. So, remember as a kid years ago, there was a guy for the Pirates and Cubs, Paul Popovich. And 1 year, Popovich had a batting average of 1,000 on the back of his baseball card. I was always just amazed by that. Now, again, he was like 2 for 2 on the season. I'm sure a late September call-up, but I remember as a kid always popping that Popovich card over and looking at that 1,000.
So Gloria Richardson, I was going to rattle off where she's going to college, but you dropped some Laura Branigan, a song that has your first name in it as your walk-up song.
I love it.
That's ridiculously well done.
Oh, absolutely. That's really strong.
So counted 0-1. Now, given that it would be 17 or 18, that song is now, gulp, 40 years old.
At least.
Yeah, clearly a parent or someone introduced that song to her.
Yeah.
But counted 0-2. Got the outside corner Frozer. Strike number 3, and Mattern gets her 3rd strikeout and 6 batters faced. 1 down.
I started to reference this earlier. I mean, the home plate umpire, honestly, in my opinion, has a pretty large zone. I mean, he's given the outside pitch, he's given the inside pitch, he's given the up. I haven't seen much down, but that's fine. I mean, every umpire is different. You got to adjust to it.
We have 5 games to play on this field today. That's a good thing.
I know. Listen, hey, a ball's width on either side, right?
So here's Smith. Smith, the DP today, batting 500. And has a run batted in the first 3 games of the season for Pendleton Heights. Their loss was to Center Grove, who is in the other pool here of this tournament. That will fall for a foul ball. That was a week ago yesterday that those 2 teams played here. The 2 victories for the Arabians against Westfield, and then the game against Shenandoah that we televised for you on Tuesday on ISC. Of course, we'll be here a number of times for games this year because of the wonderful hospitality we always receive when we are here and the level of this facility and, frankly, the level of interest in the Pendleton Heights softball program.
Everything you said there, Greg, is so true. It's a fantastic facility, great people, and, again, great fans, just a great community.
The thing that I tell people to tell you about just how good this program has been and just how good this facility is that this place has hosted a Division I college tournament.
Sure.
The Horizon League had their championship here 1 year, to give you an idea as to how good this facility is. Count it 2-2. Got it. Strike 3. Again, that outside corner's been consistent. So Smith makes the about face of the dugout. There's 2 down.
Coach Davis immediately goes over. You're going to see this pitch here on the replay. Certainly something with 2 strikes you should have been taking a cut at least try to foul it off. But Coach went over immediately and was like, ladies, I mean, how many more of these are we going to watch, right? I mean, he's calling it. You got to get the bat moving.
It's Kylie Fisher. Swing and a miss. She'll be able to keep that color scheme next year when she heads up the road to play at Huntington University.
I can remember as a coach, in situations where kids would, get that called third, and they'd look at me, and I'm like, what are you looking at me for? We've already talked about this, right? He's calling that. You need to get the bat moving.
And sprayed foul. The count goes to 0-2. So Mott turned the pitch away from making very quick work of the Arabians here in the home half of the second. Fisher batting .400, couple of hits on the year. That would never threaten the zone, 1-2.
Mottern did enter the ball game with 18 strikeouts to go against 4 walks, so she knows how to get that out pitch.
Did she offer? Yes. Strike called. Inning is over. So striking out the side is Mottern, and she now has 5 in 8 batters faced. We are scoreless through 2 in this opening game of the Horseshoe Classic. Pendleton Heights and Jennings County. You're watching on 9 Star and the IHSAA Sports Network.
9 Star is very focused on customer and member care, focused on making sure that however we communicate with the member and customer is how they want to communicate.
Sometimes we're the one person that they speak to in a day, and you want that conversation to be happy and pleasant.
As a nonprofit co-op, we're focused on providing the best service we can for our members.
9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
And there are 2 games going on concurrently here at Pendleton Heights as part of this Horseshoe Classic. 6 teams, all going to play 3 times over the course of, it's going to be a really good afternoon. Other game that is taking place is a bit lopsided between 2 teams that routinely have made trips to Bittinger Stadium for the 4A state championship. Center Grove is all over Decatur Central, 8-0 in game number 1. There's a look at the action as we speak. That's the Hawks that are pitching. Trojans have more runners on the base paths as well. Trojans put up 15 when they were here 8 days ago, so CG may have themselves another state championship contender. Here's Marley Elston. Elston swings and misses. She's the DP, has a home run, couple of RBI, and batting .429 on this young campaign. Jennings County members of the Hoosier Hills Conference.
And you mentioned, Greg, the other 2 teams on the other field. Chesterton is the 3rd team.
Yep.
In that pool.
I'm not sure if Chesterton and Lake Central, share a bus to come down here to save some money. But again, this is really neat that you have Southern Indiana, Northern Indiana, Central Indiana represented in this get-together every year. Elston offers, and another strikeout. That's the 3rd for Finley. And we have ourselves a bit of a pitcher's duel going right now.
Well, it takes me back as a coach again to that missed opportunity for Pendleton in the first inning. Now, again, a lot of softball to be played here. But as coaches, you always look back at different innings and you go, if this happens here, if that happens there, different ball game.
Meade heading to Calumet College of St. Joseph. They asked the third base umpire, was there an offer there? And he says no. Meade batting just .091 to start the campaign. Does have 3 runs batted in. This marks the end of the first trip to the lineup for JCP. Swing and a miss, 1-1 the count.
The last couple batters in both Elston and Meade, they're just kind of flailing at it. They're not really, short, compact swings, long, almost like they're making late decisions.
Off the end of the bat could be trouble. Third baseman charges, hustles, fires. First baseman couldn't pick it. Batter is safe.
How you score that, Greg?
E5.
All right. I have no problem with that.
First baseman will tell you in Goodwin, I should have picked that up. But at the same time, if that's an accurate throw, then
she's out for me.
She's out, yep. So my turn to the plate. Struck out looking in the top half of the first.
Had a great at bat, though. She watched about 10 pitches.
Fouled that one straight back.
One went back and counted them. It was exactly 10 pitches. That's a good effort there. Now, again, pitch count not quite as important in softball as it is in baseball, but you certainly can fatigue a pitcher and make them tired later in the innings.
They'll throw down to first base, and Meade had barely left the bag. That one sails high. So 2-1. And neither team put a runner on the base paths in inning number 2. That's in for a strike. So far, 2 base runners for Jennings County in this game, but neither of them because of a base hit. McDonald hit by a pitch. Meade reaches on an error. Turned on this one. Did McKenzie. And the count at 2-2.
I made a couple people in the Pendleton dugout kind of dance a little bit.
Keep you awake on this chilly Saturday morning.
Yeah. Put the cell phone down and watch the ball. Like I used to tell kids all the time, the cell phone's not going to hurt you, but that ball might hit you right in the head.
Change up that my turn couldn't time out. And I will let the folks in Jennings County know I might be altering the pronunciation of McKenzie's last name just because I have it drilled into my head. I also do the Indy 11 matches, and we had a player from Germany that played for us 4 years ago, exact same last name. So I'm given kind of the probably more German pronunciation of that. Being from Southern Indiana myself, I'm sure it's been Hoosierized a little bit over the generations, that the A is said a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But
like,
force of habit. So.
Right, no, and there's certainly a lot of German influence in Southern Indiana.
Again, I can speak to that from my family.
Correct, and I know the Jasper area and different places like that. So probably not a stretch.
2-2, ground ball. Yeah, people ask me about my background. I say, well, my mom's maiden name is Schneider, my grandmother's maiden name is Shane. When you can pretty much figure out the origin story of my family bloodline from 200 years ago.
So another 8-pitch at bat this time. So this young lady here has accounted for 18 different pitches. She's getting her money's worth in that batter's box.
Pops this one up. Shortstop heading back, able to make the play, and Meade ventured off the bag, but no way the shortstop can make the throw from that angle. For the second time, a good battle between pitcher and pitcher, won by Finley, 2 down.
And you're going to see the replay here. She just kind of really honestly did not make very good contact. This is the shortstop's ball. She has the best angle. Really tough for the third baseman to go straight back. Much easier for either a second baseman or a shortstop to go at an angle.
It's in for a strike. And McDonald made her way to first because she was hit by a pitch earlier.
We used to practice that drill. We called it tweeners. Just kind of hit fly balls down the left field line, right field line, and let the 3 people kind of converge and communicate and figure out, honestly, oftentimes on their own, you know what, it's much easier if the shortstop or second baseman takes this. Yeah, pretty much.
That one sailed out of the zone, 1-1 the count. Just a little bit low, 2-1. If McDonald can reach, then Brower would continue the inning. And that's a big deal. She's batting .556. Again, high. So Finley is yet to walk a batter, but is flirting with that here for the Arabians.
3-1, exactly like 2-0 if you're a hitter. Looking for your favorite pitch or nothing. If it ain't there, take it.
And that misses. So first walk of the game issued. First time that Jennings County has run at second base. First time they've had multiple runners on the base pass at one time. And their best hitter steps to the plate. So the first time a true scoring opportunity has presented itself for Jennings County.
Finley missing low a lot here, so needs to make an adjustment, either release point or stride, fix it.
2-0 the count.
Coach Davis is going to probably say something to that effect here as he calls timeout and makes his way to the mound. When they say that sarcasm is not an effective teaching tool, but I will tell you, Greg, that it worked for me. And I would sometimes go out and say something like, you can't make mistakes fast enough to get better. You can't keep doing the same thing, same release point, and expect the ball to end in a different place. You got to change something. Change where you're setting up on the rubber. Change whatever. But we can't just keep doing the same thing and everyone just stand around and watch that. Somebody take control. Shortstop, first baseman, would it kill you to, say a little something nice to the pitcher and make it a suggestion? It's a team effort here.
Finley came in with 6 innings pitched in the season. Had allowed 6 earned runs, had walked 5, and struck out 3. She's been awfully effective today. But finds herself in a 2-0 predicament to the opposing team's best hitter, with runners on first and second. That's in for a strike, and Brower kind of nods her head, said, yep, good pitch.
Yeah, and she's probably thinking, you know what, and I wasn't going to swing until I saw one. I mean, you were struggling. But again, amazing. Coach takes time out and goes out, and the pitch is exponentially better.
And that's in for a strike as well. So the count at 2-2. And Finley is a pitch away from getting out of what is really the first kind of jam of the game.
As a coach, you almost want to remind the girls, I shouldn't have to walk out here and say this.
Just outside. It's close.
I mean, we're a veteran squad. To a certain degree, coach yourselves.
So again, runners will get a jump here at 3-2. Line, caught. That's about as solid a contact as Jennings County has made today. Just happened to be right into the glove of Kylie Fisher. So the Panthers will strand 2, and we are still scoreless through 2.5 here on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network. 9-1-2 coming through this time for the Arabians. Lily Koffel, Kaya Hubble, and Avery Miller. A trio of players due up this time around.
We talked about Lily Koffel on one at bat, one official at bat, and 1 hit, so batting 1,000. So, one of the things too that I noticed about Coach Davis is that he lets his assistant coaches coach, which is important. Sometimes the players need to hear just honestly the same message, but from a different voice. Again, I was always kind of the tough guy, the sarcastic guy. I had assistant coaches who were more players coaches, I guess, if you want to call it that. We were all saying the same thing. Sometimes we were just saying it differently, and it didn't matter as long as the message eventually got through.
So bottom 3, here's Koffel, the right fielder. Her first plate appearance of the game. And game scheduled for 10, noon, 2, 4, and 6 today. We will have the 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 6 o'clock games here at this facility. Koffel trying to bunt her way on. That's a perfect one. First baseman, not in time. Bunt, base hit. And Koffel maintains that perfect batting average as she's now 2 for 2 for the season.
Yeah, and again, that was an absolute great bunt. Good fundamentals. Again, you and I have talked about this a lot. If you can't bunt, it's because you don't want to. Anybody can catch a baseball or a softball with a bat, and when you can just outrun the ball like that, why not put it down?
Little conversation between pitcher and coach here, as far as what to expect with Hubble at the plate. And Hubble had the great slap double. Ended up standing on third because of an error on the left fielder. But made really good contact, sending that ball between the third baseman and the bag, her last plate appearance.
And Coach David just kind of getting that feeling that maybe one run
might be enough.
It. So he wants to make sure he's communicated everything to everybody. Again, had a parent ask me one time, you're going to just keep telling these kids everything? Yes, I am. I'm going to tell them exactly what I want them to do. And then if they don't do it, then now obviously I have an argument. But I can't assume they know what's going on.
It's in for a strike.
Parents would say, well, shouldn't they know? Yeah, they should know it. But you know what? I should weigh 180 pounds, too, and I'm not even close.
Hubble trying to bunt her way on for a base hit. Just going to get that to the left side and let her speed take over. But sends it foul, and now that's kind of taken out of the arsenal at 0-2.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Again, you look at the location of fielders, and you know your own speed and your ability, from the left side, and a little bit closer to first base, even from the get-go. But now she's going to in a little bit of a spot here, but good back control.
Ground ball. Ma Turn a problem, and that is a problem for everybody. As soon as she didn't make that catch cleanly, the clock in her head was ticking, knowing that Hubble was flying down the line.
No doubt about it.
Error against the pitcher.
Yeah, you see the replay there. Clearly a ball she should have caught. But like you said, the second you bobble it with a kid like Hubble, it's over.
So for a second time in 3 innings, Arabians have 2 runners on the base paths, and they will ask Miller to put the bunt down. And again, you've got a 429 batter, a 300 batter, and experienced players coming up next. So not surprising at all.
And obviously, too, sometimes as coaches you realize, hey, maybe these guys just don't field it very well. They don't, and we can take advantage of this.
Puts the bunt down, third baseman. Gets the lead runner. Good job. That's really well done. That wasn't a bad bunt by Miller. That was just well fielded by the third baseman in Brower. And good job by Byford to hustle over and cover the bag.
That's a long way to go. And again, they rotated that where they brought both corners in and rotated the second baseman to first and the shortstop to third. And you see the replay there, and I do believe the ball beat her by just
Agreed. No, I thought it was the right call by the third base umpire. So 1 down. Clark shows bunt, but doesn't offer it this one. She had a ground ball to the third baseman her last time up. First baseman and third baseman playing in just in case. Swinging away this time and sends that back in our general direction. And the count levels at 1-1.
Greg, we've seen a lot of Pendleton Heights softball in the last 3 or 4 years here on 9-Star TV, and years past they always found ways to get these girls in, and right now this team is still searching for that a little bit. I mean, in the past you would just expect runs here.
Turned on this one, but it's foul, and the count now evens at 2-2. Outfield starting to shade a bit to pull for the number 3 hitter. Sky high pop up, shortstop in Byford. Infield fly was going to be called anyway, but able to make the grab, and there's 2 down. So now Goodwin will be charged with trying to avoid leaving runners on the base paths for a second time in 3 innings. Goodwin a walk, and frankly, didn't see anything close to hit her first time up. And the first pitch looked a lot like the first 4 that she saw in her first at-bat. Goodwin has this rather unique idiosyncrasy. You see tapping all the way to the other batter's box, then setting back up. One of the great things about this game, you'd say the same thing about golf. There's so many different ways to get from A to B.
Yeah, and I noticed that last Tuesday when we were here versus Shenandoah. It's like you said, at first I was like, where's she going? Is she going to go back and get another bat?
2-1. Giving a home run and 4 runs batted in. If she were to turn on one here, she'd have to hit it into a pretty significant breeze. And again, that is coming in from right field, the rare easterly wind we're playing with right now. And again, my turn has really not challenged Goodwin very much in a couple of at-bats.
Well, and these coaches are all very familiar with each other and their ball clubs and different things, but you also wonder, too, whether these two ladies haven't had some experience maybe in travel ball where Goodwin has really hit Mattern hard, and she's not going to have any part of it.
Found some of the plate that time or enough to get Goodwin to offer at it. The count runs full at 3-2.
Well, sometimes a hitter, too, can expand the zone a little bit. They get frustrated, and they're like, you know what, if you get it anywhere close, I'm going to swing at it.
Again, runners will get a head start here. Payoff pitch, and outside corner fastball that Goodwin could not catch up with and make that strikeout number 6 for Mattern in today's game. So 4 have been stranded, 3 of those in scoring position by the Arabians through 3. Scoreless here at the Horseshoe Classic. You're watching on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network.
3, 2, 1.
Has the first dunk in the building from Joya. Waits, Waddell finishes and lays it in. There is right now the play of the game. Better finish. We might see that on Plays of the Week. Great feed. The finish. Spin, win, 3. Bury it to the lane. No, gun, yes. Whoa, what a play. Flying in.
A look at our hiding spot behind home plate today. Greg Rakestraw, Jim Leisure with you on 9 Star on the ISC Sports Network. Our ISC cameras are well represented in Madison County today. Our 9 Star crew here at South Madison. Our ISC crew doing a little non-sports work this weekend at the first Indiana Robotics State Finals up at Anderson University. You can catch that on ISCSportsNetwork.com as we speak.
And although not technically a sport, that's a very competitive.
Exceedingly.
Yeah, and some really brilliant kids who've worked incredibly hard. So you can't really call it a sport, but, man, it is a competition.
It's a lot of fun is what it is.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6. Carson, Byford, Mowry. Trio due up. Carson struck out looking down the first inning in her first plate appearance.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I could probably be talked into thinking it's a sport, though. If someone could explain it to me in a different way, I would agree that it's a sport.
Howard Mrs. Lowe. I'm okay with calling it a competition. I think that's accurately described. But I would say there's a crowd of about 2,000, 2,500 at the O.C. Lewis Gymnasium to watch yesterday as well as today. They had them packed in. 3-0.
So to quote Navin R. Johnson from the movie The Jerk, so you're saying it's a profit deal. That takes all the pressure off. A little activity in the Jennings County bullpen as well as Pendleton Heights, actually.
So 3-0. Carson taken all the way. In just one walk has been issued so far by Finley. 3 batters. No base hits yet for the Panthers. Ground ball foul. The count of 3-2. That is Brower, by the way. That is loosening if needed in the bullpen for Jennings County.
Shelby Messer down for Pendleton.
And, again, this is the 4th game of the season for the Ravens. They've only used 2 pitchers.
Yeah.
Ground ball. Shortstop knocks it down, fires across, and got her just by half a step. Sometimes you're the benefactor of the catcher being the one that is running on that play. That was the story there for Jennings County. And from the hole, Pendleton Heights gets the put-out one away.
Yeah, from the hole, and with a little bit of a bobble. And, again, it is about knowing the runner. And good effort there by the third baseman. Couldn't get. I like the way that's just good softball there. Third base goes as far as you can go. Shortstop goes as far as you can go. And you will merge in the middle. One of you get it.
Now, the first base coach was pointing out that saying, hey, I think Goodwin's foot came off the bag, and she may have been right in that story. But that's also tough for the first base umpire from that angle to see that. Mm-hmm. We had the better look from behind the play. So perhaps a bit of a break there for Pendleton Heights.
Nice pitch.
That was a Bugs Bunny level of changeup that time from Finley. And the count at 0-2.
Yeah, we had one, if you remember, Greg, in the Marion University doubleheader where a runner missed second base and honestly missed it by a bunch.
Jim, that second game was 17-4. I've tried to block that from my mind, and it was less than 48 hours ago at this point.
But it did boil down to a fact that it was a two-person crew on a 90-foot diamond, and you just can't see everything.
Correct.
Now, I will tell you, I was thinking about it on the way home. I don't know that I ever missed a base, and if I had, I probably would have instinctively returned, even if it cost me the extra bag. And could you remember ever missing a base when you were running the bases? And
no,
me either. I would have gotten back just because I would have afraid that on appeal they called me out. Like I said, even if it meant well, and now I got to stay at second.
Kind of 2-2. Popped up, and that'll clear the seats.
Last time I checked, the bags don't move. So, I mean, we're not, talking about valedictorian stuff here. I mean, just see the bag, put your foot on it.
Wasted that one, full count.
Byford batting a robust .438 coming into the tournament here.
By the way, the other game taking place right now, Center Grove is up their lead to 9-0 in the top of the fourth. So they may be hitting run rule territory here pretty soon. And Byford works a walk. So second walk issued by Finley. Runners now on in 3 of the 4 innings so far. And Mowry, who made a rather quick appearance in her plate appearance in the second. One of the many fly balls hit to left field today. Tries to put the bunt down, does so well. Third baseman over the second baseman, no doubt about that, but a successful sacrifice. Runner in scoring position, 2 down.
And Sidney Clark and the pitcher both just hustling up the third base line to cover third. This is, again, a communication thing. The pitcher, I'm sorry. Somebody's got to cover third, all right? Right now, there's nobody there, so.
Well, let's also you saw a great job to show that from our first base camera angle by John Payne and our 9-star crew. Left fielder Richardson headed that way as well in case pitcher and catcher didn't recognize the potential there. So here's Hack, who had a fly ball to shallow left center in her previous plate appearance.
Yeah, again, the way you coach that is you work on that. Between the pitcher, the third baseman, and the catcher, whoever doesn't field the ball should be moving immediately to cover third.
Very top of the zone that time, 1-1 the count.
Now you work on it and you work on it and you work on it, but it doesn't always go as planned once the game starts.
Hubble again hedging towards left. Ground ball gets through for a base hit. They're going to send the runner, throw, and tag applied. Got him. And given the fact that Jennings County has had so few opportunities, frankly, either team, I don't blame Coach for sending the runner. Make the player make the play, and Richardson has done it yet again. So the putout retired 7-2 after Jennings County's first hit of the game. We're still scoreless, though, after 3.5.
Yeah, and there was no doubt I was watching Coach Willis immediately when the ball was hit. Of course, 2 outs, so you're moving on contact, but he never hesitated. His arm, it looked like a windmill. He was going to take an opportunity to score a run here. Look at him right there on the film. He's jumping up and down, coming out off the ground. Runner kind of hesitated a little bit as she was trying to get her footwork at third base, but she's out by a mile.
And even the throw was up the line, but because the throw was so quickly in, you were okay with that scenario. So again, first base hit of the game for Jennings County comes from Claire Hack, but another 0 goes on the board. Center Grove has gotten it to 10, by the way, now in the top of the fourth. And we would not see them until potentially the championship game, which very easily could at 6 o'clock here on 9-Star and ISC. So here's Bo Shelton. Shelton, a strikeout victim her first time up. One of 6 authored by Kenzie Ma turning the circle today. And that misses low. Pendleton Heights dugout fired up after that put out at home plate. Shelton chased one out of the zone that time. 1-1 the count.
Pendleton Heights with 2 hits, walk, and 1 reached on an error here, so they've had some activity on the base paths.
Shelton turns on this one. The count goes to 1-2. Two and two. The next 4 batters to the plate for Pendleton Heights, including Shelton, all struck out in their first plate appearance. Ball misses high. The count runs full.
And we pointed out earlier, Greg, that Mattern pretty good at 18 strikeouts against 4 walks, so she is kind of that strikeout type pitcher.
Popped up. Third baseman's got it. Another battle won by the pitcher, and there's 1 down.
Good communication there between Brower and Mattern. Just got to talk. Can't crash into each other. I always want the third baseman to take this ball. I always said, our pitcher's working hard enough. Could I get the 4 of you to maybe do something around here? I don't want my catcher catching fly balls if I can avoid it.
Richardson swings and misses. She's going to head across the state line to play at Danville Area Community College after her senior year is done at Pendleton Heights. Puts the bunt down, well done, but also equally well done by pitcher and second baseman. Put out required 1-4, and there's 2 away.
It says very quickly evolved into a small ball type game.
I think both teams have the idea that playing for 1 is going to be what's going to be the difference today.
Coach Davis we're
going to see a pinch hitter coming in here, I think.
Looks like it.
For Pendleton Heights.
We'll see whether or not the announcement is that the substituted player will re-enter.
So Humble will come in here to Morgan Hubble. Humble, a junior. He is 1 for 3. It's the 3rd time in 4 games that she has appeared. This is Smith's spot in the lineup. First pitch swinging, pops it up, second baseman, still has time. Nope, didn't get there in time. So an infield single.
You'll see the replay here. Obviously, again, not great contact, kind of in on the hands. Ball gets down. Fantastic job of hustling. Very, very close. Again, we have the benefit of seeing that 2 or 3 times.
I will tell you this. I thought at first view that was the incorrect call. After watching the replay, a lot closer than I gave it credit for.
Yeah. But I do think, honestly, that she was probably out. I think her foot was over the bag. It was hovering over the bag when the ball went into the glove. But, again, we're talking about milliseconds here, and umpires are watching the foot and listening for the glove, listening for the leather, and perhaps in the umpire's opinion, it was a little bit closer than it looked on the replay.
Another pinch hitter, Addie Nichols, another pop-up, and that'll be a foul ball. We're going to say Mattern's got to be careful if she touched that inadvertently in fair territory. That ball was going to come back at some point, but if she makes contact with it in fair territory, that's a base hit.
Yeah, watch her see here with her glove. She kind of reaches with her glove, and then as she's falling to the ground, she pulls the glove back. Like,
Good catch by both you and our cameras. They counted 0-1. This one lifted to center field. That's Mallory. Able to make the play, and the inning is over. So put another 0 on the board, and we are through 4 in this opening pool play game of the Horseshoe Classic. 0-0 between Pendleton Heights and Jennings County. Back with more in a moment on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network.
Oh, you gotta talk about this. the innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
To the top of the fifth we go. Zeros on the board. Jennings County with 1 run and 2 errors. Pendleton Heights, 3 hits and 1 error so far. Last inning ended with a third out at home plate after the first base hit of the game by Claire Hack. Trying to score from second was Byford, thrown out by Richardson. Continuing her defensive legend from the last couple of games that we have televised on 9 Star.
And again, Greg, I'm retired. I don't have anything to do but thank all day. After that game, I was trying to think of a great defensive left fielder that I've seen either in baseball or softball. And I just couldn't come up with anyone. Normally the great defensive plays are in center and right. You think of Clemente and those types of people. But I'll tell you what, if there's a great fielding left fielder, then Gloria Richardson is emulating that person.
So here's Elston. Struck out her first time up. Behind 0-1 here in the count. Made a late decision to swing and question her. So that ball was out of the strike zone. It was about 3 feet from home plate. And as she saw it dive, kind of took an effort at it just to see if she can make contact. Counted 0-2.
Yeah, she realized again it was an off-speed pitch and said, you know what, I think I might be able to get a late bat on this.
Finley comes back with a fastball, good pitch combination, and Elston makes a right turn to the dugout for a second time today. That's the 4th K by Finley, and there's 1 away.
So Ashley Mead comes up. She's the 9 hole, and you know what, a lot of times in a 1-run game or a close game like this, if you can get some kind of production out of 7, 8, and 9, you have a chance to win.
Well, Mead reached last time. That's in for a strike. Error on the third baseman allowed her to make her way to first.
Finley seems to have found this little pitch here that is obviously a changeup, an off-speed pitch.
Popped up. Second baseman backing up, and it'll fall perfectly for a base hit. Ball had a little more carry to it than it kind of originally looked like.
Yeah, right off the end of the bat. Not great barrel contact here, but you get the 9 hole on, and that's why you got 1 and 2 coming up here.
Well, your job as the number 9 hitter is to just simply roll the lineup over. That's exactly what she's done for a second time. My turn is 0 for 2. Smoked that one, and Finley kind of casually threw that over to first base. Still got her by about a half a step, but Finley did her job in terms of knocking that one down. 2 away.
And made the right decision. Once you kind of don't field it cleanly, there's no opportunity here for 2. Just get an out. One of my many rhyming axioms in coaching: win in doubt, get an out. A lot of times kids try to make that play at second base and nobody's out, and we got a problem.
McDonald lifts this one over the head of the shortstop. They're going to wave the run around from third, and this time there will not be a play. So a run is on the board for Jennings County. McDonald reaches for a 3rd consecutive time. This time she brings home an RBI, her 3rd of the season. Mead comes around to score, and it's 1-0.
It all starts with Ashley Mead really getting on. I mean, goes to second base on the bobble in the circle, and Coach Willis, again, no doubt about it, 2 outs, sees where the fielders are located, and his arm was swinging from start to finish there. You're going to see it right there on the replay. And once he swings her around, of course, after the ball was bobbing, the outfielder's no chance, but I don't think they'd have got her anyway. But Coach Willis has already made his decision.
Here's Brower. Brower hit it hard last time and hit it right to the second baseman. By the way, the Center Grove Decatur Central game has ended in run rule fashion, 10-0 after 5. So in the opposite pool, put a victory to the side of the Trojans. Jim is literally updating his bracket as we speak.
Yes, I am.
Well hit, second baseman. Flips to the second base bag and shortstop to end the inning, but we have a 1 on the board for the first time. A couple of pop-ups that found the grass. Good enough for Jennings County. And they take a 1-0 lead to the home half of the fifth.
Well, nothing really horribly impressive, just a couple of base hits, a couple of base knocks, and some good base running. And voila, a run.
A little pressure on the bats to get going here for Pendleton Heights. Arabians have stranded 5 in the first 4 innings.
Go all the way back to the first inning, Greg. You know, you had second and third, just runner on third.
You were right. They got to second as well.
Second and third, you're right.
Yep.
Good one, yeah. And then you just go, as a coach, this is why coaches have gray hair or no hair at all. It's like, you know, if we just take care of our business. Coach John Wooden used to always, he claimed that they didn't really worry about the other team in terms of practicing against their sets or their, he's like, we'll just worry about our stuff. We'll take care of UCLA, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may. But take care of your business, and a lot of times you're going to be all right.
Here's Koffel. Bunt base hit last time. First baseman and third baseman. Playing well in, thinking the same thing's going to happen again. This time the slap leads to a foul ball.
Koffel with that split grip as well. That kind of, like you said, slap hitter type, actually moving forward toward the pitcher as the ball approaches.
Contact made. Shortstop was playing in, but center fielder was also playing in. And Mowry makes that a step from the dirt. 1 away.
Yeah, it goes down as an F8, but you're right. That she catches that really where the shortstop normally would be playing. So every now and then you get a young lady who utilizes that slap style but still has a little bit of power. And outfielders can't afford to play that shallow.
Well, that player would be Hubble who can do that. And deposits that one directly to our left. Hubble had that double down the left field line, where she was stranded at third back in the first inning. Then reached on an error against the pitcher her last time. 1-1 the count.
One of the things that I do like about the slap hitters is that, and you saw Hubble do it, she watched that pitch, even though she realized she wasn't going to offer, her eyes went all the way back to the catcher's glove. You got to watch it a long way when you hit like this.
High and in tight, 2-1 the count.
Of course, I'll argue that you need to watch it a long way even when you're hitting traditionally. Can't hit what you can't see, and a lot of times you'll see kids just very little things taking their eyes off the ball, either still looking at the pitcher, who no longer has it.
Contact made again, this one in the outfield, and again, Mowry's been really good at fielding her position today. And there's 2 away.
Or sometimes you'll see a player who actually takes everything. I mean, the eyes come out, the shoulder comes out. Again, this is a little bit more of a traditional center field position catch here.
Here's Miller. Miller trying to put a bunt down, reaching the fielder's choice her last time up. Struck out before that. And loops that one foul. As you can see, that's a full parking lot behind us today. Same to the right as well, with having 6 schools representing this Horseshoe Classic. There's baseball going on next to us as well today, so very busy day here at Pendleton Heights. Elevates the fastball, got it over the hands, and not much of anything Miller can do with that. And the count now quickly 0-2.
Yeah, always a little tough to try to catch up to that high strike. Oftentimes when you do catch up to it, all you do is pop it up anyway.
1-2.
Nice 0-2 pitch there by Monturn, just saying, hey, you know what? If you want to get yourself out here, do it. If not, watch it and we'll pitch another one.
Again, this one sent foul. That's where most of the hard contact has been. It has been well out of play. Swing and a miss. 7th K for Monturn and Jennings County, and for a second time today, Pendleton Heights is retired in order. We are now through 5 here at Legends Field. Panthers enjoying a 1-0 lead in the Horseshoe Classic on 9 Star and the IHSAA Sports Network.
When moving into a new home, we ask ourselves questions like, who is the best internet provider in town? Well, have you considered locally owned 9 Star Connect? We've become the fastest, most reliable, and dedicated fiber-to-the-home internet company in central Indiana. Our internet packages have been modified, and we are changing speeds at a more competitive price. So give us a look. Visit us at 9starconnect.com. 9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
To the top of the 6th we go, and the heart of the lineup comes through for Jennings County. Brower, Carson, and Byford. Get alongside Jim Leisure. Greg Rakestraw with you here on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network. We'll have 3 of the games for you today from the Horseshoe Classic. We'll have the next pool play game for the Arabians when they take on Lake Central at 2. And then regardless of whom is playing in the championship game, we'll have that one for you at 6. Rob Brown will join Jim for that one. This one lifted. Center fielder's got it. And I mistakenly said Brower would lead off the inning. She ended the last inning with a fielder's choice. So it's Carson, Byford, Mallory, 4, 5, and 6. And Carson, first pitch swinging, first pitch flying out, 1 down.
Well, you know, in the average at bat, you're going to see your favorite pitch one time, and when you see it, you need to bust it, and she did. Unfortunately, just hit it right at somebody.
You know, and obviously my experience is baseball, not softball. But
mine as well.
Was thinking about this during the college game that you and I were doing on Thursday. And at the high school level, I think it's much more advantageous given the quality of pitcher you often face. You see one you like, go.
Yeah.
College and beyond, that's a bit of a different story. In
Right.
terms of kind of sitting back and waiting, but I never fault somebody for being see-ball, hit ball, because that's kind of how I played too.
Yeah, I was just told kids, I mean, certainly you want to work counts and different things, but your favorite pitch, you're only going to see once. You're not going to see it twice in the same at bat. So if you see it, you better hit it hard.
Good pop that time by Finley. We've talked about the various college commitments for both of these teams because Finley hasn't come to the plate, doesn't hit. We haven't talked about where she is heading. She's going to play at Hope up in Michigan, the Division III level. This one sails high, 2-2 the count. Byford reached on a walk, and she was the player that was thrown out trying to score on the single by Hack to left field. 2-2. Ground ball, foul ball.
And Jillian Brower up again in the Jennings County bullpen there, just getting loose. I mean, obviously my turn is pitching well, but you always want to have somebody, and because that person's actually in the game, you want to have somebody ready if you need them.
Another foul ball. We have seen some good battles, some lengthy at-bats, really on both sides in today's game.
The aforementioned Mackenzie Monturn with 2 of them. A 10-inning at bat and an 10-pitch bat and an 8-pitch at bat.
And she'll roll over one more.
Coach Willis with a nice play there. When I was young, I would do that. As I got older, I tended to get out of the way.
The battle continues to be waged between Findlay and Byford.
This will be the 8th pitch of this effort.
Elevated that one. Give Byford something a little different to look at. But the result remains the same.
Got to change the eyes, right? If you're a pitcher, you want to change the hitter's eyes. They have to see a different sight picture, again, whether it's location in or out, up or down, speed-wise.
Didn't chase this one, and the count runs full.
Hitting is timing, and pitching is disrupting that timing.
The payoff pitch. Line drive into left field, base hit. Byford. It was a kind of a general wearing down that time, and one of the most solid singles we have seen in today's game.
On the 10th pitch.
So here's Mowry. Mowry put down a sacrifice bunt with really a similar situation. A runner at first and one out last time through. Swinging away this time, and this one will turn foul. And the left fielder, or center fielder rather, for Pendleton Heights and Hubble is really hugging towards left center. Here for the number 6 hitter. Popped up. First baseman comes in. Catcher's got it. Wasn't sure if Clark had a good read on that because she, to me, really didn't look up and never shed the catcher's mask, but clearly she had it, which is why I think the first baseman, as you see on your screen in Goodwin, was kind of at a full sprint in case she was needed.
Yeah, I don't know that she would have gotten there, frankly. Now, we talked earlier, I don't necessarily want my catcher catching fly balls if I can avoid it, but sometimes when they're behind the plate, there's just no other player available.
Ground ball. Third baseman's got it. Steps over to first, and that is that. Well, the single by Byford does no damage, and now you're starting to count outs if you're Pendleton Heights. So you go to the bottom of the 6th, and it is a 1-0 deficit for the home team.
Let's see who Pendleton's got coming up here. Yeah, well, I mean, is about as best as you can ask for, 3, 4, 5. You're down a run, and obviously you would hope that 3, 4, 5 is going to provide one for you, maybe 2.
So Clark, Goodwin, Shelton. The trio due up. That group is 0 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts today. And the hits have come from Hubble. Then on the bottom of the lineup, Humble and Koffel. Clark 0 for 2. Ground ball to third base and a pop up to the shortstop in her 2 previous plate appearances.
Clark, a senior, again, as a coach, you're going to want these seniors to step up. This is your season. Used to tell kids all the time, unless I get fired, and I always remind them there was always that possibility. I'm coming back next year. This is it for you.
Popped up. Left fielder has plenty of time to track that one down. That is Clapp. We have not mentioned her name because she does not bat. She is the player that is flexed where Elston hits for her. Clapp able to make the play in left, and there's one away.
Emma, a freshman, so Coach Willis probably not wanting to put too much pressure on her. Does a nice job there, kind of battling a little bit of the sun, but had it really all the way.
Here's Goodwin. Struck out last time, walked the time before that. And everything has been outside against the lefty. She asks for time and gets it for a moment. That's about as much of the plate as we have seen Mattern throw it against Goodwin so far.
And I think it may have caught her off guard a little
Yep.
bit because, she has not seen anything close. These pitches are in the right-handed batter's box, and I think maybe they might have snuck one past her there because she wasn't ready for a hittable pitch.
And there it is, back to kind of where it's in everything outside for Goodwin. Came into the game batting .300 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. And again, she is heading to play at the University of Dayton. That one misses. 2-1 the count.
Good job by Goodwin. Again, you got to be patient. One of the things I've noticed, too, about this home plate umpire, for whatever reason, his style is what it is. On the check swings, he literally takes his mask off, walks 3 or 4 feet up both lines, and checks. When a lot of umpires just kind of lean out and point at the guy. And
3-1.
Simply not interested in pitching to her. And I'm not sure I blame him. Pretty good player. It is interesting, however, to think that you're going to potentially put the tying run on in the 6th inning.
Sky high pop-up. Catcher ditches the mask, tracks it down, and well done. It's Carson that makes the play, and there's 2 down.
That is really nicely done there. Good job again. Those balls are spinning backward. They're spinning the wrong way, as opposed to normally when a ball's hit to a fielder. Got to get that mask off if you have time. You got to find the fence. No other player had a shot at it.
First pitch swinging. Shelton, shortstop, over to first, and that's that. And now it is 7 consecutive batters retired by Mattern. To the top of the 7th we go. Jennings County looks for an insurance run or two. They lead 1-0 here in the Horseshoe Classic on 9-Star and the ISC Sports Network.
My name is Patty Potty, and I'd like to talk to you about all those kinds of convenience products. People are flushing down the toilet, clogging up our sewer system, and causing expensive repair bills. They might flush down, but they sure don't flush out. Make sure you trash them. Don't flush them, only flush the 3 P's. Pee, poo, and paper. Toilet paper, that is. And remember, no wipes in those pipes.
This important message was brought to you by 9-Star Connect, your water and sewer provider.
That is a look out towards the Hawks of Decatur Central, their head coach, Don Ivey. And they suffered a run rule loss to Center Grove in their first game of pool play. They're going to take on Chesterton in game number 2. That'll be pivotal in determining who has a chance to advance on to the championship from that pool. Don's team, 4A champs in the not-too-distant past, and they frequently produce college softball players in that program. So to the top of the 7th we go. Zamora going to come in here and hit for Marley Elston. So Zamora in the number 8 position. We'll pinch hit here.
Meade is the 9 hole. She has reached base twice, once on an error and once on a base hit.
This one lined in the left field for a base hit. So Zamora makes her game debut with a pinch hit single. And now you expect me to try to play the game to move her over. By the way, not only is that the first hit of the day for Zamora, that's the first hit of the season for her. This is the first time that she has seen time in a varsity game. Now Clapp, who is the left fielder, will come in to run in this position. So Meade singled and scored last time up. She has reached both times. Got on base in the 3rd by way of an error.
And if Meade bunts, of course, it would be a sacrifice situation, but not always. I mean, she's probably going to be bunting for a hit, too. She's on that left side. She's got good wheels.
Off speed in for a strike. This marks the 3rd trip to the lineup now for the Panthers.
Coach Willis, of course, would love an insurance run, and Coach Davis would love for them not to get one.
Puts the bunt down, but does so foul. And the count now 0-2.
Kind of short-armed it a little bit. You don't want to bunt it too hard, obviously, right at the third baseman who's charging, but you got to leave the barrel of the bat out there just a smidge longer than that.
Most successful spots in the lineup for Jennings County today, the 9 position, the 2. They're due to come up this time through. Popped up. That'll clear us.
Again, my experience, really, I mean, I coached my daughter in softball growing up, but primarily baseball. But if I'm meat, I choke up here a little bit. I shorten the bat and just try to slap something through what amounts to a drawn-in infield.
Ground ball. Second baseman's got it. Quick toss over to first, and that works like a bunt. However, runner at second base was leaning off the back. First baseman Goodwin fires behind her, and that is a double play turn by Pendleton Heights.
Well, just being aware defensively, really nice job by Pendleton Heights, and obviously not a good job for Jennings County. You got to be aware of that situation, and people throwing behind you a little bit. Here you're going to see it here. Ground ball, pretty simple play. 4-3. Where's the runner going? I don't know. I mean, that's one of the things I used to ask her. Where are you going to go? Why were you even off the bag? You really going to run from second to third with the first baseman with the ball in her hands?
Just immediately threw back, and good tag applied. So Mater now batting with nobody on the base paths, and that'll reach the seats down the line. The count at 1-1.
And those were things, too, Greg, that I would always, when I coached, I always had an index card in my hat, and I would take little notes, and that was stuff that we talked about as a team afterwards. Not just, I'm not going to, get on, I guess that was Clapp, actually, that was on the base paths there. This is for everybody. In that situation, where are you going to go?
Kind of 2-1. McKenzie 0 for 3 today. Struck out in the first, popped up to the shortstop in the third, and hit a ball back to the pitcher her last time up. Line drive and foul. Looking ahead for the Arabians, 6, 7, and 8. Richardson, Smith, Fisher. Again, it was Humble and Nichols that were the batters the last 2 times up.
Nine-hole Koffel has a hit. Smith has a hit. So the cupboard is not bare if you're Pendleton. The bottom of the 7th.
Fly ball, center field. That's Hubble. Has a beat on it, and the inning is over. So if Finley is done for the day, she was outstanding, going 7 innings, giving up just 1 run. But if her offense doesn't get going, she could be on the short end of a tough luck loss. So again, 6, 7, and 8 coming up this time through. Richardson tried to bunt her way on last time. And Mater made a good play to fire over to first base and struck out looking. Richardson came in batting .222. Popped her up. Infield can of corn, and in the blink of an eye, there's one down.
Now, again, this situation, obviously, I think you want to be a little more selective at the plate. That pitch was on the inner half, almost off her hands. And you hate to see a kid swing at that pitch anytime, but certainly on the first pitch when at bat in the bottom of the 7th in a 1-run game.
So Humble again will stay in the game and hit in this spot. She had a single her last time up.
And it was a hustle single, too. I mean, it was an infield, get down the line and beat the throw.
Give you a point of perspective in terms of how impressive the pitching performance has been from Jennings County today. First 3 games of the year, Pendleton Heights combined to score 21 runs. 0 on the board so far. Ground ball, that is a fair ball. Past the third baseman. Hummel will stay on the bag, and she represents the tying run. And again, you'll see a runner come in for her in this position.
Nice job, just sneaking it past the bag there between the third baseman.
Miss Humble may be earning herself a little more playing time, going 2 for 2. Olivia Burns will come in and be the pinch runner here. And again, Nichols will also stay in the game. Nichols a fly ball to center field, her previous plate appearance, batting in Fisher's spot in the lineup. So Nichols now a perfect 2 for 2 on the season as well. First pitch swinging, popped up, catcher over, makes the play, and the Arabians down to a final strike. Second time in as many innings that Carson has made a nice play and shedding the mask and hopping up to grab it out. So it's Lily Koffel. Koffel a fly ball to center fielder last time up. Bunt base at the time before that. Contact made, past the shortstop into left field for a base hit. So now the tying run is at second. The winning run is at first. And the top of the lineup rolls through for Pendleton Heights.
And I started to say it, and Lily didn't give me a chance to. But again, I want a senior. I want a kid up there who's, played in some games and has some experience. Her second hit of the ball game here. And again, 2 outs, anything hit to the outfield, I got to believe Coach Davis is going to be sending the runner.
Let's face it, she had a double her first time up. Double here might win the game. This is not a double. This is a foul pop-up that is snagged, and that is it. Well, the bottom of the 7th got awfully exciting, but the song remains the same. Runners do not come in for Pendleton Heights. They are shut out for the first time this season. They lose this opening game of the Horseshoe Classic 1-0 to Jennings County. Jim, your final thoughts on this one?
I give a lot of credit to Mackenzie. My turn there, the pitcher. You had mentioned Pendleton Heights came in this ball game with 21 runs scored, shut them out, did a nice job of just location, changing speeds, some nice defense behind her, but hats off to Mackenzie.
Again, it was a complete game shutout, 5 hits for Pendleton Heights, but they end up stranding 7 runners on the base paths. Jennings County, Ashley Mead scored the lone run. That was enough to get the victory. So Jennings County, they will await to see what happens between the next game between Pendleton Heights and Lake Central in terms of what their pool play is going to look like. Our next broadcast will be at 2 o'clock when Pendleton Heights returns to the field and they take on Lake Central. For now, we'll give our crew a breather, knowing they've got the back 2 legs of a triple header yet to go. But our first game belongs to the Panthers at Jennings County. They win at 1-0. Thanks for joining us on 9 Star and the ISC Sports Network.